When Vital threw some legs over the Vitus Mythique 2.9 trail bike a few years ago in our $2,000 MTB test, it quickly became a tester favorite. The price, spec, and geometry demonstrated it was ready for the serious rider that didn't have stacks of cash lying around. Fast forward to 2023, and the Mythique frame gets a head-to-toe redesign and maintains a fantastic spec-to-price ratio. Additionally, as of today, Vitus bikes are now directly available to customers in the United States. No more dealing with chain reaction or wiggle. You can order straight from us.vitusbikes.com. 4 trims of the Mythique are on offer. They share the same Vitus and nuke-proof cockpit and contact points, as well as a 31.6mm Brand X dropper seat post. They all use WTB rims, either STI 30 or KOM Trail I30s, with Vitus KT hubs. There are 2.3-inch wide Maxxis High Roller 2 XO casing tires on the lower 3 models, while a Schwalbe Magic Mary Hans Dampf combo graces the AMP. As of now, all Mythiques slow down with Shimano 2-piston brakes of varying performance level. The $1,699 Mythique VR is sensibly spec'd with a dropper seat post, not often found at this price point, and a 1x Shimano Dior 10-speed drivetrain with 11 to 46 tooth cassette. X-Fusion suspension parts give this Mythique 130 mils of travel, while the 3 builds above it sport 140 millimeters front and rear. Bounce up to the Mythique VRS for $19.99 to ride on RockShox suspension with a silver 35 TK fork and deluxe Select R shock. The 11-speed Shimano Dior drivetrain is a blend of Shimano, KMC, and Sunrace parts like the Sunrace 11 to 51 tooth cassette. You can climb into the $2,000 range for the Mythique VRX at $22.99. A Marzocchi Bomber Z2 fork handles the bumps up front, with the RockShox Deluxe Select R out back, and a 12-speed Shimano Dior SLX drivetrain combination. Brakes bump up to the 2-piston Shimano MT501s compared to the MT401s on the 2 lower-level Mythiques. The bike we were able to get some quick laps on was the Mythique 29 AMP, the highest level offering at $25.99. A RockShox Pike Select RC fork is a highlight at this price. It's paired with the Deluxe Select R shock, and our AMP is propelled by a 12-speed Shimano SLX drivetrain that features an XT rear derailleur. Shimano SLX brakes dress up the bike, but unfortunately these are still just the 2-piston stoppers. The wheel set is the nicest of the Mythique family, with the Vitus hubs laced to WTB KOM Trail I30 rims that we've seen on bikes that cost $5,000. As we mentioned, the AMP is the only bike in the family to veer from Maxxis tires, as it wears a Schwalbe Magic Mary Hans Dampf combo. They come in the Evo Super Trail TLE Attic soft construction. We've always appreciated the reliability of the budget-level Brand X dropper post. Seat post drop length on the Mythiques vary across sizes, with large and XLs getting 150mm travel seat posts. Tall riders may want more length, but considering the bike's price, we're not going to nitpick this one too hard. The 2023 Mythique head tube angle is half a degree slacker than it used to be, now at 65.5 degrees, and the effective seat tube angle is 1.5 degrees steeper at a pedal-friendly 77.5 degrees. Chainstay length remains the same across the 4 sizes at 445 millimeters. Medium reach is a friendly 455 millimeters, as large sits at 482 mils. With a 185 by 55 mil trunnion shock now being used, suspension kinematics have been revised as well. Leverage ratio is dropped slightly, but progression remains at 22%. Anti-rise gets a bump up by 5%, and anti-squat is close to 100% in granny, dropping to 80% when pushing harder gears. Maybe it's the old-timey, analog-loving Luddites in us, but the frame's fully external cable routing makes us feel all warm inside. One of the first things we want to do is upgrade those 2-piston brakes, and knowing we won't have to worry about chasing cables and hoses through the frame, which probably wouldn't be very guided at this price point, has us shopping for 4-piston stoppers already. The seat tube's redesign also allows for more post insertion, and there is routing for the dropper post cable at the base of the seat tube. The hardware and bearings are the same as the longer travel Escarp and Summit bikes, as the Mythique's updates have benefited from the development of its longer travel siblings. The rear axle is Boost 148, the tapered head tube uses 44mm upper and 56mm lower bearings, the bottom bracket is threaded, there are ISC G-tabs, and the frame protection is beefed up on the base of the down tube and the drive side chainstay. Now that Vitus has established US operations, Bikes ordered online in the US ship from Salt Lake City, Utah, and are easy to assemble with included tools. The package includes QR codes that link directly to assembly videos, and the Vitus Rider Experience team is at the ready for those needing assistance with the process. A capable spec alone isn't what determines how fun a mountain bike can be. Our Mythique was a natural, all-around weapon on the trail. We took our maiden voyage on some aggressive terrain and were impressed with how stable and predictably it handled technical sections. The 140 millimeters of travel was put to work, and it performed exceptionally with a balanced ride. Even with its fairly chunky 33.7-pound weight, it remained very playful and responsive in flowy sections. We just had to give ourselves plenty of heads up when hard braking was required. Vitus states that they set out to make the Mythique not just a starter bike that a rider outgrows, but rather one that grows with them. Their 2023 AMP model has certainly achieved that goal. The frame's features, its geometry, the critical components, brakes aside, are more than ready for both noob and veteran trail shredder alike, as it delivers a shining experience on the mountain. The $25.99 price tag for the top-end AMP that we rode offers some of the best bang for the buck on the market right now. A RockShox Pike, Shimano SLX XT components, trail-worthy tires and wheels make the Mythique nearly impossible to beat when it comes to a mountain bike that is not only friendly on the wallet, but a blast on the trails. Click on over to us.vitusbikes.com for more info. We'll see you on the trails. And yep, we still want to call it Vitus.